Hi, you're watching Steph and Julia Zeden. In this video, we show you footage from when our silky chicken Samantha got killed by a raccoon. A few days before Samantha was killed, or Sammy as we called her, she'd been limping a bit for what we discovered to be a case of Bumblefoot. We recorded the footage of how we treated the Bumblefoot so that we could share it on our channel. However, that night, Sammy was unfortunately killed before her foot could heal. Because she was already limping, she was weak. She was targeted first by the predators, it's our theory. Thankfully, none of our other chickens were harmed. In this video, we first show you how we treated the Bumblefoot. After that, we show you footage of how we found Sammy's body, the raccoon lurking around the yard, how we captured the raccoon, and even accidentally, how we captured a skunk in the process. If you would like to skip past the part where we treated Sammy's Bumblefoot, just go to the timestamp shown here.
Poor Sammy, our little chicken, is suffering from what looks like it might be Bumblefoot. She's really favoring one leg over the other, and so I'm letting her soak in warm water in the sink with Epsom salts for 20 to 30 minutes. And because we have so many pets in the house, we always keep on hand a pet first aid kit. And so what I'm going to do today is, once I've cleaned the wound under her foot, I think she has a more mild case, I'm hoping. And so I'm hoping if I clean the wound and wrap it in gauze and change that a couple times a day, that over time the infection will heal. However, if that does not work, some chickens do require surgical removal of the infection. So guys, here I've identified the products I want to use from our first aid kit. First is just an ethanol solution to disinfect the foot. Next, I'm going to use this. It's an antiseptic, but it's also a bit of a pain reliever, and it's topical. It includes ethyl alcohol and lidocaine. And so this is for insect bites, but I think it'll help relieve some pain and reduce the risk of infection for Sammy's foot. Then I'm going to put on this pad. This is just a very simple, sterile pad. It doesn't adhere though, so I will need to wrap it around the foot, and so I'm going to use this bandage to wrap the pad under the foot, and I'm hoping that will keep the area clean and free from infection, and hopefully that will give it some time to heal. The thing I want to mention, guys, while Sammy's just chilling in this sink for 20 minutes, originally 2 days ago I noticed she was lethargic. And normally when we approach our chickens, they make a, half attempted effort to run away. They don't want to be picked up necessarily, but she didn't even run away. She just sat there. And I thought, oh my gosh, she's lethargic. And it was an extremely hot day that day. It was like 30 Celsius. And I thought, you know what, if she's not moving, maybe she's dehydrated. And I just thought, okay, something's really wrong here. And so the first thing I did is I prepared for her an electrolyte solution. And I noticed an immediate difference. I gave her half a syringe, using a syringe from our pet first aid kit, half a syringe of homemade electrolyte solution. And then an hour later, I gave her another half of a syringe. And it was like night and day. She perked up so much that I thought, maybe she was just dehydrated. And I proceeded with my day. That night I gave her another half syringe, but I noticed she still wasn't climbing into the coop at night, roosting with the other chickens. She was staying on the bottom. And so I knew something else was wrong. So I kept an eye on her. I kept giving her electrolyte solution just a little bit every morning and every night, and still just seeing no improvement. And that's today when I noticed her limping and really favoring one foot. And I realized maybe she's not climbing into the coop because something hurts. Her foot hurts. And that's when I figured, okay, maybe she has Bumblefoot. And so, Bumblefoot can prevent chickens from going to the food and water bowl and foraging for food. And that can lead them to quickly become dehydrated and to lose weight and not be able to eat and drink properly. So it was kind of like, it was good I treated the dehydration first, but that was a symptom. It was not the cause of why she was not feeling well. So I've removed Sammy from the sink where she's been soaking in Epsom salt water for about 20 minutes, just to help pull out any infection and reduce any swelling that she might have. So she is really favoring her right leg. And so Here is her left foot. You know, there's a bump in the middle and some redness, and it's a bit shiny. So this is really, if this is Bumblefoot, it would be really early stages. Okay, so I've sprayed the ethanol all over her foot. She's being so good for this. Next, I'm going to use the Sting Relief, which is a bit of a pain reliever. Alrighty, so I've bandaged the foot. I've wrapped the gauze fairly tightly because I do want it to stay on, but I was mindful to not, reduce circulation. I don't want it that tight. We're gonna pick her up and hope that she'll be more comfortable. I just want to make sure her toes are not super constrained in any way. Alrighty, great. So we're gonna put her outside, see how she fares with this, and we'll change it again tonight before bed and see how it looks and see how she's walking, if she's more comfortable.
You can see she's not used to the bandage, but she was already limping really badly and barely able to walk before having the bandage on. So it's hard to know how much is the Bumblefoot and how much is the bandage annoying her. At the very least, I'm hoping this bandage will keep the wound clean so it can heal.
The evening Sammy was killed, I came home after sundown and went straight to the backyard to close the chickens up for the night. That is when I found feathers and blood all over our backyard deck. I immediately knew something was very wrong. Sammy had sadly been half eaten by the raccoon and left for dead on our backyard deck. We decided to clean up the mess the next morning. That is when we found Sammy's body had been moved across the deck again. The predator had come back once again in the middle of the night.
The next night, Julia was frightened by the raccoon in her backyard again. The raccoon even had the audacity to take a nap on our swinging bench. From then on, we found footprints of the raccoon every single morning around the chicken coop. The raccoon was coming every single night in search of food, leaving us to close the chickens earlier each night. We decided for the safety of our chickens, we just needed to capture the predator and relocate it.
So we have mentioned one of our 4 silky chickens, Sammy, got killed by a raccoon about 2 weeks ago. She was sleeping on the grass there, and we've noticed paw prints of raccoons all over the chicken coop, and Julia even ran into this raccoon sitting in the backyard. They're notorious for killing chickens when they are weak or when they're capable of doing so. At this point, we decided to go with a cage. It's a live trap, nice and easy. I will set it up tonight. Basically, it's spring-loaded. It's a spring-loaded cage that allows the raccoon to step in when it steps on the paddle. It's a nice little recorder. It can take videos in the dark in black and white. You can set it for photos, videos, the amount of minutes or seconds you want it to record, and it's motion activated. So, wish us luck. Let's see if we can catch this guy tonight. It's nice and smelly.
And we have caught the little guy. Aw, he does not seem happy to have been caught, but we are gonna move him to a wooded area far, far away from our chickens.
Raccoon is now strapped in the car, in the truck. He'll be taken off to a forested area.
Although cute and cuddly, he does look very pathetic there, and you want to snuggle him. Let's not forget, he is the murderer of our chicken. So I'm going to bring him deep into the forest where he can have a new life. Because he was just doing what he does. Punish him.
We kept seeing footprints around the yard, so we set up the trap a second time. We successfully caught a second raccoon, and we were able to relocate it as well. What we caught next, we were not prepared for. The upcoming footage shows us in real time trying to figure out what to do. It was a high-stress situation, and one we had never encountered before. Huge props to Stefan for taking all the risk in this moment. He was definitely the hero of the neighborhood that day for successfully releasing the skunk without it spraying, even if our neighbors never knew about it. Unfortunately, our trail cam was never able to capture the moment the raccoon or skunk was caught. After Stefan opened the door of the cage, the skunk walked out on its own. We did not see him again. We also never saw any more predator footprints or raccoons around our yard after that. We hope you enjoyed this video and perhaps learned a bit about what to do if ever a raccoon is snooping around your chickens, or if you have the misfortune of capturing a skunk like we did. Sammy was the first chicken we ever lost to a predator attack. She was also our firstborn, as she was the first chicken to come out of her egg when we hatched chickens for the first time in an incubator in early 2020. She was also our loudest chicken. Nevertheless, she was special, and she will be missed. But the death of Sammy was the hardest for her sister hen, BB. Sammy's death left BB without any more siblings from her original hatch in our flock. After Sammy died, BB fell into a bit of a depression, and we felt really sorry for her. We decided to put some fertile eggs under BB in hopes that this would help her find new purpose and bring back some happiness to her life. Watch this next video here to see how she did. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and comment down below the type of content you'd like to see next.